do not adjust your set. Yes, this is the car sales community, formerly known as Budget Bangers. I did decide to go ahead and change the name of the channel simply because progression. I do feel that the channel has evolved just naturally over time, and I do feel like this is the right thing to do. I think Budget Bangers does not really fit with the content anymore. Yes, we are doing budget cars, but they're not bangers. Obviously, Budget Bangers originated from saving cars from the scrapyard and then doing them up and selling them, hopefully make a profit. We're not doing that anymore. What we're trying to do is trying to build something good here, and I feel like Budget Bangers was not doing me and my content justice. It also wasn't really doing my business any justice. So, especially not when you got price boards like this going in windows. 3,995. That's going in the Touran. It's going to look a very dear car, that, but it's a 7-seater automatic. So, and that's what Auto Trader says it's worth. And if I know, I get pestered all the time, and I mean all the time, for 7-seaters and automatics, potentially just as much as each other. So the fact that I've got one that's a double barrel, it's got to demand the right money for it, hasn't it, really? And also, regular viewers will know the amount of work that has gone into getting this car right is excessive, shall we say, but it's had the work to make sure it's as good as it will ever be. So yeah, we're going to put this price point in. I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll get this price board put in the window. We'll have a look, see what it looks like with that very expensive price board. And then, as I said, it looks dead, doesn't it? But I find that every time I have an automatic in, I look at them and I think that's just too much. I don't. Obviously, this end of the market, I don't get a great deal of automatics in, so my experience with them is not vast at all. But every time I get one, even when I'm just trolling through like Auto Trader and that, I'm looking, I'm thinking they are so dear. I mean, like, this thing's, in terms of being expensive, it's got everything going for it. Automatic, 7-seater, it's a VW. So every which angle you can look at it, it is an expensive car. But it's expensive because there's high demand for them. So yeah, in terms of what's going on out here, not a great deal's happening at the minute. I did have an inquiry this morning on the Colt, whether that turns into anything, I do not know. Obviously, I did drop the price on it. Maybe it's 11.95 where it needs to be. They did ask about getting a fresh MOT on it, and I said I could potentially look into it. But obviously, I was thinking about doing it anyway, just to try and help it. I have had it prepped and everything, so in theory it should pass an MOT. The radio started playing up as well, and it's like jumping around each speaker, going do, 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 making noises and things like that. So I need to have a look into that. It could be simple as you just want a new head unit, possibly that's here. I've had a fresh MOT put on that. I've had somebody view this. They were unsure due to the mileage. They were looking to spend. They had a budget of $4,000, and they were saying, you know, everything we've looked at, we've never looked at an 18 plate. So anyway, I'm getting a phone call. This could be a customer, so give us a second. What he was saying was everything they've looked at was older, so they were unsure as to whether they wanted to go ahead simply because of the mileage on it. They never got back in touch, so I'm assuming they just found something that maybe suited them a bit better. Some people are like that. Maybe they'll go for an older car with the right mileage. Some people would rather go for an older, lower mileage car. Some people would rather go for a higher mileage, newer car, just because of the curb appeal of having a 2018, you know. It's just that's the way people are sometimes. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'm trying to work on getting out here tidied up a little bit. I've sorted my sign out a little bit and things like that. Just need to get it just tidied up and looking a bit more presentable. And then you never know, one day can work on getting things like all this painted up and things like that. But realistically, what we're wanting to do is basically get it so we know this is going to work out, quite simply. You know, I don't want to go chucking money at it if I'm only going to do it for a few months. What I'm doing now is quite simple. I've got a video to shoot for my Wednesday video. I've got a car out back ready to get that started on. And at the minute, I'm getting a couple of phone calls, so there could be inquiries. I've just had to stop recording for a phone call there. Somebody wanting to sell a car, whether it's something that ends up turning into something I don't know, because it's an S-Reg, Nissan Almera 1.6 with like 60 odd thousand miles and one owner from new. So, I mean, I'm not going to retail it. Let's make that clear, because that car will be, for what it is, it'll just, and what I'd need to sell it for would be ridiculously expensive. So, yeah, so we need to have a look into that, and then see whether some more inquiries come through. Beginning of the month and the end of the month is when I tend to be busier. Middle of the month is very quiet for me, generally speaking. So we'll just see. Something could happen. And then it's Tuesday. I feel lousy today. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know what's up with us, but I just feel. So I'm gonna have an office day. Do I need to get stuff done at the minute? Looking around, no, not at the minute. There's nothing that's like at this moment. I've got a couple of bits to sort out, but when you're not feeling well, it's hard to get motivated for stuff. So yeah, I'll have a talk about what's going on. And it's what I'm mainly going to be doing today is just getting a few bits in order, because I've been a bit busy getting some cars ready to get. I'm falling behind on my office work, which isn't very good. But as you can see, I have dragged some cars out. I looked outside and thought to myself, they look bare bones, because I only had 2 cars out here, and the cars parked up round the back as I was doing stuff to them, and I just thought, you know what, I need them out the front, just for curb appeal more than anything. It actually looks like I'm doing something with myself now. I need to have a look into this. I need to sort there's someone up with the radio I need to sort out. I think the head unit might be going faulty, which is fantastic, because I've just scrapped one of these. But again, that was just cash flow issues, quite simply. But I can look into it, maybe try and get myself a head unit from somewhere. I think I'm going to have to put an MOT on this as well, because it's just not getting the interest. It's got off the top of my head, it's got about 8 months or so MOT on it. I think it's till December, which is a decent amount of time, but I don't know. But again, if I put a fresh MOT on it, can I sell it for $11.95? You know, I priced it accordingly, I think, anyway. And the 30-day warranty, obviously this is car of the week, so it gets an upgraded 3-month warranty, just to try and help it out a little bit. Will that draw up interest? I do not know. Avio, I've got back. That actually needs to go for some welding work, which is a shame. But everything else has been done to it. It's had tyres, it's had bottom arms, it's had brakes, bits done with them, service. I'm not entirely sure as to what's been done to it, because I haven't seen the invoice yet. But yeah, we've got some Ling Longs. Love a ditch finder. The Jag did that yesterday. That could be why I am feeling it this morning, if I'm not going to lie to you, because I gave that machine polish yesterday. Obviously, I did that, and then I did that. One of the reasons why I gave up mechanical work
is because of issues with my back and my legs. So the fact that maybe he's gone from not doing a lot to maybe pushing myself and doing a bit much is maybe I'm just reason why I'm feeling it, because my back and my legs are hurting today, mainly my back. But it looks the part, 1495. I think that is priced fairly sensibly. There is a gap here, but I like to keep a gap for the footpath. I could maybe squeeze these up a bit and get another one in here if I wanted to, but you know, doesn't make much of a difference. Kind of makes these two stand out a bit more. That's here. That's had a fresh MOT put on it. Still one of the cheapest in the country. Am I getting a lot of interest in it? I had a viewing on it, as I said before, but nothing came of that. Touran, that still needs to go for MOT and a service and what have you. But you know, if it's out here with a price board in the window, it looks better than being out the back doing nothing for itself. So plans for the day. I really am going to have to look around and see what the crack is. I know what people are going to say in the comment section, but it's an old car now, you know. It is, but it's low mileage. It's a good, dependable little car. Oh, I got an inquiry on it yesterday, but nothing came of it. I don't know. I don't know why. They're obviously not as popular as some sellers, but I don't know. Realistically, I need to keep away from these sort of things now. Below 1,500 quid really is a tough place to be, because you can go buy one of these on Facebook Marketplace for 800 quid. You can potentially say the same with these ones as well, but you know, will it make a difference? No, I think personally. Again, these are really nice cars. They're all nice cars. I don't sell rubbish, I think. Really, my Dacia shouldn't be there either, because it doesn't look very nice, but that kind of, I use that as a marker point of where my row of cars end. So we'll get inside because it's a bit breezy and I just need to sit down and chill out, I think. Disaster struck yesterday. When I said disaster, I mean disaster. So yesterday was a pretty basic day, nothing too special, nothing too out of the ordinary. I went round my garage to pay a bill. They said they've got some slots available. And I said, well, I've got some cars that need doing. Do you want to come and get one? And they got one. The Touran. To cut a long story short, it never made it for its MOT. It broke down. Which I was just like, fantastic, yep, seems about right. And then I was hit with, I think the timing belt's gone. Brilliant, yeah. So the garage towed it back here. I've had a quick look at it. What looks like has happened, half of the auxiliary belt has broke off. There's only half of it left on the pulleys, and I'm assuming that it's broke off and it has got wrapped around the crank and made the belt jump teeth. Now, whether it can be salvaged by just putting a belt on, who knows? But from my experience, once timing jumped, the job was goosed, which is fantastic, isn't it? Which basically means that the car wants an engine in it. Which is fantastic, because I've just done the numbers, and I'll be honest with you, I'm sure some of the regular viewers would have made the assumption, because I've done a lot of work on that car, that I'd be very lucky if I made a profit. Before sending it for an MOT and a service, I had left £500 of margin. It owed me £3,500. So now, I think it's fair to say that is me well and truly up shit creek without a paddle. But what the plan is now, I'm not going to dwell on it, because if I dwell on it, what will happen is it'll make me miserable. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on getting stuff done, making a bit of money, and then just sorting something out. I'm not going to rush to any sort of decisions, because if I rush to a decision, quite simply, I will more than likely end up making the wrong one. So I'm just going to focus on getting cars sorted, getting some money in, so we can then make a decision with the Touran when we are in a better mindset and a bit better educated. Because I don't want to just go in all guns blazing. Bah, 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 I want to do this, do this, do this, do this. Because at the end of the day, it'll just make things 10 times worse. So we've got to get a clear head, make the right decisions. So what my plan is for today is to, for the time being, try and forget all about the Touran. That is it. Because I'm not dwelling on it. Because I will lose my marbles. I've got a car to go and pick up from BCA. Now my driver is busy, so I'm going to have to hop on the train, which is great, because I think since I passed my test 10 years ago, I've maybe been on public transport 2 times. So if anybody knows anything about riding trains and what you do, please let me know, because I don't know the Scooby-Doo. You still pay the conductor and he gives you a little ticket? I'm assuming not, but hey ho. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that sorted. I'm just going to go for a nice ride out on the train, try and clear my head, and get in a better mindset. And that's all I can do for the time being. I would like to turn around and say that it's going to get an engine in next week, but engines for them, from what I've seen online, are ridiculously expensive. And I would also like to say that from this moment forward, I am not, well, I'm not saying I'm not, I am going to avoid VWs, because for one, I don't bloody like them. I don't like them. I'm buying them because people buy them. That's why. Touran, massive prep bill, absolutely kicked me in the plums. Touran, again, another one. It is not only going to kick me in the plums, but it's going to do a lot fucking worse to me. Anyway, let's go and get a C3. Right then, I am here at Darlington train station. This is very weird for me, because I think I've maybe travelled on public transport like 2 times since I've passed my tests, so I'm very much a novice at all this and don't have a clue what I'm doing. Yeah, I have had to check that I'm in the right place. But I've got a little bit of a wait until the train comes, so I'll just chill out, and once I get on the train, I'll probably just sit and watch, I don't know, some barbecue show down on Netflix or something like that. Might be nice. I've got my little Wi-Fi hub with us as well. There it is. So I've got my little Wi-Fi hub, because my mobile data is terrible, and it's also getting nice and warm, so it's heating me up a bit. Yeah. Hopefully the train's not going to be too much longer. It's nice to be chauffeured around for a change. They say car dealers are con men. £3. Rip off.
Right then, little C3 has made it back to the unit. Very happy with it indeed. Only one minor hiccup, and that it's got a broken bumper, and it just like caught the wind and came out of its clips and was flapping around. But I just gave it a old love tickle with the boot, and got it back in place. But other than that, drives right. Maybe just want some little bits of work. I know when you start it up, you hear the exhaust bang, but looking at this paperwork, it hasn't long since had an exhaust. So maybe somebody's just not got something lined up right. Very slight knock when you going at lower speeds, going over bumps, maybe it's a drop link or something. And it was a little bit road noisy, so I don't know whether there's a wheel bearing on its way out or something like that. But we'll have a look around and see what you think of it. But this car, when it went through the auction, I was like, this car's a gem. I could tell full service history, not long since being serviced. I think it was serviced in November. And then I get back and I'm looking through the paperwork. I've had to do this a certain way. Now it'll be back to front to use, but that says replace timing belt and water pump. And that was done. You have to be careful because it's got people's details on it. That was done in September 2019. Miles, did I say miles? At 101,000 miles. So 26,000 miles ago, it had a timing belt. Full service history, just being serviced. We'll have a look at it and we'll see what you think, because I'm happy. Right then, it's a little bit windy, so you'll have to forgive us. Hopefully my mic is doing its job. But as you can see, what a cracking little car. I did find the key. It is a manual, so we're going fully Mexican on the key. Overall body condition, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even looked at this car. They kind of pulled up in it, and I was like, you'll do me. Jumped in, put my trade plates in, and away I went. Could do some new number plates, looking a bit worse for wear. Continentals. Oh, B. Let's have a look what we've got on this side. Oh, bumper's a bit out of place there. Not gonna lie, I did just kind of catch it on the curb a little bit, you know what I mean? But a little scratch there, not the end of the world. Mirrors doing mirror things. Here's a VT model, which is pretty basic. What we got here? Goodyear. Ah, see. Go on, no, go on. What we got? Oh, all premium tyres all the way around, man. Someone's had a bigger budget than me. But yeah, everything does what it needs to do. In terms of the bumper, obviously looks lovely jubbly there. That could be why it's catching, because it's sat way too high. So chances are it's probably had some hangers welded on it, and they've just not done a particularly good job. Parking sensors. She's a gem. Oh, please tell me these are dealer mats as well. They've got, you know what, right? I should really just stick to buying the cars that I know. Not buying this VW tripe. Because when I can buy them, the ones I know and the ones I like, I can buy them. Full service history, timing belt done, premium tyres all around. We've just got a little bit of a whoopsie here. This is kind of what happened down the motorway. It was already cracked, which I'll be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention on the pictures because I didn't see this. I only seen when I looked through the pictures, get a bit of a refresh. And I scrolled through all the pictures rather than just the important ones, shall we say. Yeah, so what happened down the motorway was this was doing this flappy thing, and then I just gave it a nod with the boot and back in place. I mean, like, in terms of cleanliness, there's some questionable stains on the back seat. Not going to try and attempt to find out what that is. Oh, devastated. Wonder if it's in the CD player. What is it? I have no idea. That is terrible handwriting. Yeah, Isofix seats. This is getting me happy.
considering the absolute mare that I've had with the Touran, this is doing it for me. As you can see there, 127. We'll give it a start up and you'll hear the exhaust bang probably. That was rude. I don't know whether you heard that or not. It even come with just under half a tank of diesel as well, so a range of 217. You'll have to forgive us, I'm out of breath because I'm still under the weather. So I'm not exactly firing on all cylinders. I mean, like, in here we've got some of the pixels are giving up on life. But as you can see there, just over 56.4 miles a gallon coming back from Newcastle. That's over 34 miles. I mean, like in here, you've got little scratches here and there. You go over there. I mean, like, don't get us wrong, needs a bit of a clean. There's some backy in places. Clearly a smoker. I mean, like, the car's had a life, hasn't it? So, I mean, like, how many times has somebody been grabbing that handle over these years? I could maybe look into doing something with that. What, I don't know. Because if I was to paint it, I'd have to match up that side as well. And then, even stuff like the hand, like, are you going to care? Realistically, that's the question. How far do you want to go? And I'm really happy with this purchase. I wish they were all like this. Oh, we need to have a look in the CD. Let's have a look. Oh, devastated. Can't beat a free CD. Right then, I am probably done for the day. I am knackered. I'm still not right. I don't know what's up with us. My back aches and things like that, and I just feel ugh. So I don't know whether I'm coming down with a cold or something like that, but I just feel ugh. I've only just got over a cold as well. So hopefully it's straightforward. And I get over it quick because I've dropped the key now as well. I want to go home. What I'm going to do now is I'm probably just going to take my roof box because I've been meaning to do it for ages. It's still on there and it's absolutely blowing a gale and it's awful to drive when it's windy. I just hope I don't scratch the paintwork. Pristine. Yeah, I'll probably leave it for today. Then I'll probably sort out ordering a bumper for this and I don't know. Anybody want to buy a Touran? Used to run. Right then, so we will be ending this weekly here. Unfortunately, not a great deal happening at the minute, other than getting some shutters put up, and shutters are very, very noisy, so you can't hear a bloody thing. So I'm hoping you can hear us. I have got my mic held up as close as I can. Yeah, what am I doing today? I'm sorting out my eBay shop. Me and my wife, we run a little eBay shop where we sell a lot of like little collectibles and things like that. There's nothing like overly expensive there, which I'll drop a little link in the description down below if you feel like supporting me and my wife and the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, not a great deal happening. Phones have started off busy Monday, Tuesday, it's died off a little bit. I got a little bit of early interest in the Citroen C3, but again, there was a woman wanting to part exchange a car that was not going to turn out to be a deal, unfortunately. A 14 plate Nissan Juke that's burning oil. I chucked her an offer of part exchange, a very fair offer, might I add, and as expected, she couldn't go for it. But I've said to her, if you get sorted out with it, please do give me a shout on it, and we can sort out a deal. Other than that, nothing. I am going to try and focus more on my social medias, getting cars advertised that way, because as I'm sure you've watched with Chops Garage's latest video, things for Auto Trader are not going well. It's expensive. Stuff like the Mitsubishi Colt, I have had an advert up on that twice, which costs me about 40 quid a time ish, which, 80 quid, not a massive amount of money, but when you're talking about cars like that have such a small margin in, really, you've got 80 quid's a lot of money. When you're looking at potentially making 500 quid, when you're spending 80 quid just on advertising costs, not good at all. So, yeah, that's about it really in terms of that. Car of the week, obviously, not a lot of cars on sale at the minute, as in ready to go, which is when we normally do car of the week, for car of the week, shall I say. So, what we're going to be doing is we'll just chuck a load of them in the mix and see what you think. So, we've got car number one, Chevrolet Aveo, the little silver one, 59 plate, low mileage, really nice car. Car number two, that is the Citroen C3, the 1.6 diesel one, the black one I just picked up from auction. Really nice car. Car number three will be the Jaguar X-Type, which featured in my last Wednesday video. So if you haven't watched that, please do. I will link that as well. Car number four will be the Dacia Sandero Stepway again. Now, please bear in mind that has already been car of the week, so we can try and avoid doubling up on that. Please do. My 50 pence. I'm going to say the Citroen C3. Really nice car. Really surprised me. Kind of had a kick in the knackers, if you will, with the Touran, and then that little car kind of just gave us a nice lift when I needed it, especially with having the timing belt and things like that done. It was just it really did help me out that in them senses. What I might do for you, when my Wednesday video, I am looking at a very, very beautiful car. It is white. It's got a black bonnet. I might put out a little update video on how my £100 Dacia Sandero is doing and what it's like being living with a car as that's got duct tape for a window. No, I haven't fixed that either. I don't know. I might just say how it's holding on and hanging in there. So that will be my Wednesday video, I think, on my little Dacia Sandero, which I can see through my window now, and I'm just looking at it smiling. So that's great. But as usual, all the links will be in the description down below for my socials, Instagram, Facebook, my website, and also for my eBay shop. You don't have to buy anything if you do not want to. Even if you just want to be nosy, just go and have a nosy. But thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you wonderful people, and I will catch you on the next one.